Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode of Brand Your Power Live. I am so excited to continue this series, which features our current and alumni students of the Founder Circle program, which is a program that helps coaches to really step into alignment with their practice, create high-ticket offers, and sell them in a way that's not scammy. So with that being said, I am so excited to have Kenya here, one of our current students who's been killing it since day one, since she got here. Okay, ma'am has been on fire. So before we even introduce you and your amazing company and what you do, I like to start off each of these episodes with a quick icebreaker of how would you describe your brand to us in 3 words?
So I would use the words empowering for sure. And I know that's like a buzzword these days, but like I'm for real. And then I guess like intuitive. I was going to say spiritual, but I would say intuitive because I serve women and, we have that divine feminine intuition going. So I would say that. And then thirdly, FUBU. So for us, by us, I identify as a Black Muslim woman. I serve all women of color, all women of different faiths or lack of faith, spirituality. So, very inclusive. So those 3 words: empowering, intuitive, and inclusive.
I love that. That's something that's very unique and different, and you can hear that. And I just appreciate the authenticity of your brand and your messaging. And I think that that helps your clients to feel safe with you, because so many women have these parts of themselves that they're afraid to share with the world. So very much proud of you for that. So now tell us about yourself. Talk to us about your background, your title, what you do, and what inspired you to launch your business.
Right. So I think it's very typical of, I'm 27, so I identify as a millennial. And I was working the ladder. I got my master's degree in higher education, student affairs. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready to climb up the ladder, make all this good money down the line, get a doctor and everything. And then in fall of 2019, I was just going through a complete shift, like I was releasing everything that I thought I was, which is this person that's going to be a doctor and have this title that makes all this money and make a change, in a system that really didn't want change, but wants to talk about change. So I was starting to feel a lack of purpose with my job. And so I did some soul searching and, went to therapy, did my own inner personal work. And then the pandemic hit. But right before the pandemic hit, I was like, I know that I want to quit my job and I want to move abroad. If I'm going to live abroad, I need to make some money. So I probably should start a business or look for some ways to create like remote income. But before I do all that, I need to get good with my money. So I, paid off all of my credit card debt. I was like really good with budgeting and saving and all these things. And it was from there, not even really looking to like start a business. I was like, oh, I could be a financial coach. And so I got trained and I was helping people in that. And I did ultimately, it was like July 30th of 2020 was my last day at work. July 31st, I emptied my apartment. August 1st, I was on a plane to Mexico, and the business was already thankfully like really booming. And so I did financial coaching first. And what I realized is that people don't care about money for the simple fact of caring about money. They care about it really to help them accomplish other things in their lives. And that could be their dream, their purpose work, their soul work. And a lot of what I was talking about in my coaching was life coaching. And so I made a very aligned and easeful shift into life coaching. And I have had coaches before to help me. And I know we'll talk about more how I found the Founder Circle, but it all really kind of happened very easily.
Absolutely. And I love that you had that epiphany of you're including these other things into your program anyway. And why not go into it? But so many coaches do fear that, right? It's, well, why not just stay within the niche I picked and just add all of this other stuff on top, right? Like, how easy or difficult was that decision to say, I'm going to pivot away from this financial coaching and I'm going to go all in on life coaching, even though when you came to the Founder Circle, it wasn't like you was broke, right? It wasn't like you didn't have clients, and it wasn't the struggle story that a lot of people sometimes like to market. Like, you have to wait until you're on the struggle bus to get support, when you're like, no, like I'm doing fine. However, there's something more that I want to dive into. So talk to us about the decision-making process.
Yeah. So in terms of like going all in and becoming a life coach, honestly, people see the announcement like, oh, I'm taking away financial coaching. I'm a life. They see that it's very immediate, one time, one part of time. And really it's a very long process. I think I've been talking about kind of transitioning for a long time before I ever actually fully let it go. And, I've been with you for 5 months now. And at this moment, have I fully really let it go, the financial coaching pieces? I've been trying to hold on to something for so long. And that happens a lot in our lives, not just in business. We're holding on to parts of ourselves that we know we don't need anymore. So the decision was really hard. And I think the biggest kind of fears or things that came up with is what will people think? Like people will think I'm flaky. They don't know, they don't know, they don't think I'm sure of my messaging or that I'm confident and things like that. And really, I just had to be clear with myself so that other people were clear. Like this is just an evolution of me. And, as a person and as a business owner, we continually evolve. And I know I came to you and I was like, I want to be a 5K life coach or something like that. I wasn't broke. I wasn't struggling, but I knew that I wasn't where I wanted to be. And I knew from a friend who was also in the program that you were definitely going to push me to get me there. And I think that and although, well, what I was missing before was the push. Like I think before it was very much like, do what feels good for you in your business. And that's great. And also we have to tie that balance of, okay, it feels good. You want to do this. Let's go ahead and do it then. Like, why are we taking our time? You have the capabilities and you really brought that out of me.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, that's a smooth transition into you deciding to join our program. So I know you were referred by someone, which I think helps in the decision-making process, but what were your initial hesitations and thoughts around, and especially when, I've been in your shoes where you've worked with other people before, and it doesn't have to always be a bad experience, but sometimes working with a ton of people makes you feel like you've been doing too much and you need to sit on the side and kind of X, Y, and Z. And so, I'm all about like everybody's story doesn't have to be the same. I just think in a lot of marketing for some coaches who just don't know any better, they just push this narrative of you got to be at rock bottom, X, Y, and Z. And it's not always like that. And, you're just scared to spend the money. That's not always the issue, right? So talk to us about your hesitations or challenges or even thought process when evaluating the decision to enroll.
Got it. So I was laughing when you said they have to be at rock bottom because I feel like that's something in my messaging too. Like I work with women who are at their breakdown. But in hesitations with you, I didn't necessarily have any hesitations per se, but I did have parameters as every coach and client should have. And so I knew I knew where I wanted to go and I knew what I needed to get me there. And you exhibited those qualities of like knowing your stuff, making me make sure I know my stuff so I can be clear and confident, and also like not babysitting me or anything like that. And honestly, the friend that referred me, what really hooked me was, I guess she was talking about a price that she had pitched to you for her program, and you straight up were like, "Don't play with me. Like, why are you playing in my face?" And I was literally like, I need someone to talk to me that way. Like that's, how I operate, how I like to learn at least, or how I like feedback. So that was the biggest, kind of push to you. And then I remember like being in your DMs as I was looking in the program, like I have money problems. Like I have some hesitations with raising my prices. Can you help me do those things? And you were like, yeah, sure. Of course. We definitely talk about those things in the program, yada, yada. And it was really like, I got the emails, I watched the training, and it was really no hesitation to try it. And you're right, I have had coaching before, and I think that made me more empowered to say, like, I know exactly what I want. Can Kyshira give it to me?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's my angle with that. And when I keep saying like some messaging kind of focuses on certain things, I've found that for business coaching, when people are getting business coaching, the results are so much better when they come in knowing what they want, right? You may not always know what you need, but if you know what you want, if you're someone who just looks on Instagram and says, I just want to be like her, right? Or I just want her graphics, or I just want her life, that's not going to incentivize you to do any of the work, because we're not going to front like it's not a journey and it's not difficult. And so really, I think that I just loved talking with you, even in the DMs, because of the clarity, because you were sure of what you wanted, because I can talk to you specifically about where our curriculum could support you, and even the things that you didn't mention that I knew would add value. And that's just so important for me as a coach, because, you know, I always say, like, we're not here to babysit our clients, right? And I'm sure we've had discussions about those types of clients, right? Like, us babysitting them does not mean they're going to get better results. It typically means that they're not going to show up and do the work. So I love that you brought that up. And so with that being said, you came in, you hit the ground running on building out your new offer, right? Which I want to hear more about this program. Yeah. But talk to everyone viewing about any challenges you faced with developing your new offer. Like, how did it feel for you to build a new coaching program that wasn't money-based, right? It wasn't about finances. And I mean, it had some financial, obviously money mindset and things like that, but you were implementing Reiki and all of these other cool new things. So talk to us about that process.
Yeah. So before I get into that, there is a hesitation that came up for me, which was I was transitioning from a kind of a hybrid model of group and private one-on-one coaching. So I was worried that, will I need you? Like, will I miss the private one-on-ones because that's not offered in the founder circle? And honestly, because you're so present in the Facebook group and on the coaching calls, like, it doesn't feel like I need to be on your Voxer or in your email, like none of that. So that concern went away very quickly. But my program, so first and foremost, I think around the curriculum pieces, what I was doing before, I am or was a good coach before, and I actually did have a curriculum when I was doing financial coaching, but then I realized that curriculum was too rigid for my clients, and so I kind of got rid of it. But in getting rid of it, I lacked the clarity of, like, what is my program supposed to be doing? What is the timeline of events that I want that I want my clients to go through? And so I lacked that, and that made me lack confidence. And so when I started in the founder circle and I started building out this new life coaching program, I really appreciated the fact that I had to dig down and create a curriculum before you even looked at it, before we even considered price. So there's that. So with my breakthrough life coaching program, it is very holistic in the fact that it brings in action-based, homework and activities and healing modalities such as Reiki and sound healing, and soon to be, tapping and NLP and things like that, and yoga. It brings in, so the action-based homework and activities, the healing kind of properties and spirituality, and also strategy and planning, so that women can start to reclaim their power, heal from trauma and limiting mindsets, and reframe a lot of the negative internalized messaging. They can get well with their money. So we do go over those things, overcome fears and challenges, and ultimately live in their purpose, live in their power. And a part of that is also, living in their soul work, I like to call it. So like, coaching for me is my soul work. It feeds my soul. And I want my clients to be able to find those things for them too. And it doesn't necessarily have to be work. It could be their soul environment or their soul person or their soul boundaries or relationships and things like that. And so it is just an amazing program. And let me tell you, I was getting results before throughout my other programs, but like when I started Breakthrough Life Coaching, my clients have gotten transformations quicker. Like, they're getting transformations in session 3 and session 4, and this is an 8-session program. So it has been so exhilarating to be a confident coach and to see all of the results from my clients. They are freer than ever. They're more powerful. They're aligned and authentic with who they are and what they want in life. It's just really beautiful.
I'm so excited for you. Congratulations on that. Like, it's literally only up from here. With that being said, for those who are listening to you and they're like, this is what I need, this is what I want, how can we become a client? Like, are you taking new clients right now? If not, how do we get on a wait list? Like, how do we stay connected?
I am currently taking new clients, but they honestly, no, I'm not going to be humble. The spots go by quickly. I like to work with between 5 and 7 people at a time. But people are ending the program at all times. So it's kind of like a rolling basis program. And if you want to work with me, first things first is an intake form. So I want to understand, where are you right now? What are you hoping to achieve with life coaching, and kind of understand some context pieces. And then you go ahead and you book a free consultation. So it's about 20 minutes long, but we get right to the nitty gritty in those 20 minutes. And you'll honestly leave there knowing exactly from our consultation call, or I call my breakthrough planning sessions, you'll leave there feeling very clear as to like what you need and where you're trying to go, and also like how my program can help you. And I love to ask people at the end, like, are you ready? Because, you know, I can give you we can do the program, we can do coaching, but I don't want to drag you along through the program. So you need to want this more than I wanted, and I want it a lot for you as well. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love the messaging. Rock star students. Okay, so we're almost done. Just want to wrap up with a two-part question. So you've talked a lot already about your experience with building your program and getting it up and running within the founder circle. So for those watching, one, what's been your overall experience in the program, just from a high level, like how have you been feeling? And two, what advice would you give someone who's considering seeking coaching of any kind, but they're nervous to pull that trigger?
So how's my experience been? It's been really amazing. I think, you know, you're a great coach, you know your stuff, you've been doing this for a really long time. So you're able to speak into a lot of the questions that come up in coaching calls that are very like experience based. It's not so much as how can I create a landing page? It's more so I'm dealing with this situation. Can you help me figure it out? And like the coaching calls are amazing. I get so much information from there. The modules are also amazing. And I've been able to create you know, a really good solid foundation of, you know, processes and standards for my business so that I feel safer and freer to like explore other parts of myself to become a better coach. So you have been a great coach. The other women in the program are bosses. Like, it's so great to be around other women who are excelling just as much as me, even more sometimes, who have continually re-upped with you to show that like, hey, there's still growth to be had, but like I'm still, you know, hitting a lot of milestones too. So all the women are really, really, really amazing. The community is really good. The support is amazing. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, even despite the one-on-one support that people think they may need, and you actually don't. You just need a couple of questions answered, and you know I'd be up in that Facebook group asking some questions. So yeah, and then the other part was, okay, can you say your second part of your question again?
Yeah, and so the second part is just what advice would you give someone who wants to get coaching, but they are hesitant to pull the trigger? And in this case, it could be anything. Someone who's looking to get a life coach or a money coach or a business coach, but they're intimidated or they're a little anxious about it. What would you say?
Yeah, I think something that has come up for potential clients for me is for some reason people believe that they need to be like put together well to get a coach. And it's like, no, we actually want you to not necessarily be struggling, but we want you to be in a space where you want growth. You need some kind of expansion and learning. And so my advice would be, don't think that you have to be perfect. Don't think that you even have to be very clear as to what you need. As long as you're clear about where you want to go, and you can even have some examples of like, I kind of really want to do this, or how can I put this together? Like, as long as you're in that ideation phase and you're ready for that growth, get a coach. And when it comes to the investment, you have to really believe that you deserve it. I think it doesn't matter the money, the price, or how long. What really matters is, do you believe that you deserve what's on the other side of coaching? And that's your success. You know, that's the continued journey. And if you don't believe it, you're not going to invest. So of course, there's definitely budget concerns, but find someone that you can relate to, that will answer questions for you, that can hopefully be helpful and supportive to you, and you should be fine.
So I always like to wrap up interviews with like fun questions. Like, I don't know, something about my personality loves speed round type questions. So I'm going to throw 5 questions at you and you have to answer them super fast. Like, you can't take all day. Okay, they should be easy. Okay, first question is your favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite food?
Bread.
Favorite album of all time?
Oh my God. I'm going to Lemonade.
Okay, favorite place to shop?
H&M.
And your favorite book?
Ooh, gosh. Oh, The Alchemist.
Awesome. So somebody's probably going to hire you based off of those questions.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Probably like, oh, she likes Beyonce? Oh.
Favorite album. If I had to listen to something over and over and over again from top to bottom, it would be Lemonade.
I love that. So
sorry, when I said bread, I meant all different types of bread. So donut, like bread and potatoes.
No, bread is like
live.
Right, it's top tier. So let everyone know where we can find you online, website, socials, like where are you most active?
Yeah, so I'm most active on Instagram. So you can find me at Kenya, Kenya, period, Imani, Imani. And from there, you can find me on my Twitter, my Facebook. My podcast is relaunching. It's called Advice I Need to Take. It is amazing. And my YouTube channel is launching as well. So everything Kenya, period, Imani, or just Kenya Imani. And my website is kenyaimani.com. And if you want to learn more about the life coaching program, go through kenyaimani.com/breakthrough life coaching. And if you want any free resources, that's also on my website as well.
Amazing. And we are going to include all of her information in the description box. So make sure you all check that out. And as a reminder, if you are someone who is looking for a business coach, you can apply for the Founder Circle at thefoundercircle.com and drop Kenya's name in the who referred you box so I can make sure to thank her for taking the time to do this interview with me. Kenya, you have a fabulous rest of your day. And thank you all for watching. We'll talk to you in the next episode.
Thanks. Bye.